next. This book is called The Forgotten Home Child, which already sounds like it'll be depressing. Okay, so it's broken down into 2018 and 1936, so let's see what it says. A young girl caught in a scheme to rid English streets of destitute children will stop at nothing to find her way home in this novel based on the true story of the British home children. 2018. At 97 years old, Winifred Ellis knows she doesn't have much time left, and it is almost a relief to realize that once she is gone, the truth about her shameful past will die with her. But when her great-grandson Jamie, the spitting image of her dear late husband, asks about their family tree, Winifred can't lie any longer, even if it means breaking a promise she made long ago. 1936. 15-year-old Winnie has never known a real home. After running away from an abusive stepfather, she falls in with Mary, Jack, and their rat-tag group of friends roaming the streets of Liverpool. When the children are caught stealing food, Winnie and Mary are left in Dr. Barnardo's Barkingside Girls' Village, a local home for orphans and forgotten children. At Barkingside, Winnie learns she will soon join other girls and boys in a faraway place called Canada. Hey, that's where I am. But Winnie's hopes are dashed when she is separated from her friends and sent to live with a family that has paid for her to be an indentured laborer on their farm. Faced with this new harsh reality, Winnie clings to the belief that she will someday find her friends again. Inspired by true events, The Forgotten Home Child is a moving novel about place, belonging, and finding family beyond the bond of blood. That book does sound very good. It does. It definitely sounds a bit sad, a bit sad, but I think I would read this one. I would read this one. My goal is to read 24 books this year, and I've read 3 fully and almost finished my fourth one. My fourth one is so a little bit ahead of schedule, which I'm happy about. Okay. This one is called The Lost Girls of Paris. The other book was by Guinevere Graham, if anybody was interested. This book is called The Lost Girls of Paris by Pam Jenoff. And it says, 1946, Manhattan. One morning, while passing through Grand Central Terminal on her way to work, Grace Healy finds an abandoned suitcase tucked beneath a bench. Unable to resist her own curiosity, Grace opens the suitcase, where she discovers a dozen photographs, each of different women. In a moment of impulse, Grace takes the photographs and quickly leaves the station. Grace soon learns that the suitcase belonged to a woman named Eleanor Trigg, leader of a network of female secret agents who were deployed out of London during the war. 12 of these women were sent to occupied Europe as couriers and radio operators to aid the resistance, but they never returned home, their fates a mystery. Setting out to learn the truth behind the women in the photographs, it's not a video by me unless I awkwardly pre-position myself. Okay. This one's got like a train. It's got like the back of a train. It says, 16-year-old Noah has been cast out in disgrace after becoming pregnant by a Nazi soldier and forced to give up her baby. Okay, we're off to a wild start here. She lives above a small rail station, which she cleans in order to earn her keep. When Noah discovers a boxcar containing dozens of Jewish infants bound for a concentration camp, she is reminded of the child that was taken from her, and in a moment that will change the course of her life, she snatches one of the babies and flees into the snowy night. Noah finds refuge with a German circus, but she must learn the flying trapeze act so she can blend in undetected. Spurring the resentment of the lead aerialist, Astrid. At first rivals, Noah and Astrid soon forge a powerful bond, but the facade that protects them proves increasingly tenuous. Noah and Astrid must decide whether their friendship is enough to save one another, or if the secrets that burn between them will destroy everything. Okay, well, this seems insane. Like, that's a lot of, that's just a lot. So very intense themes in this one, but she also runs away to the circus. So, like, the author was really going for a lot of different things in this book. I think I would like it, though. It really depends on the writing style for me more than the plot. Like sometimes, like, okay, take a shot every time I say like, oh my god. Like, Dexter is my, not to bring up Dexter again, but Dexter is my favorite show and, like, my special interest. And I have all the Dexter books, but I do not like the way the author writes, so I didn't enjoy the books very much, which is sad because I wanted to, but the writing style was very confusing for me. So yeah, it really depends. It really depends on the writing style. Sorry. Okay, next. The wives. Okay. It says, I mean, I kind of thought this was Hillary Clinton. I don't even live in America. I just, like, are we sure that's not Hillary Clinton? Okay. It says, you've never met the other wives. None of you knew each other, and because of this unconventional arrangement, you can see your husband only one day a week. Kind of into it, guys. But you love him so much you don't care, or at least that's what you've told yourself. But one day, while you're doing laundry, you find a scrap of paper in his pocket, an appointment reminder for a woman named Hannah, and you just know it's another one of the wives. Oh my god, so does he have a bunch of wives? You thought you were fine with your arrangement, but you can't help yourself. You track her down, and under false pretenses, you start a friendship. Hannah has no idea who you really are. Then Hannah starts showing up to your coffee dates with telltale bruises, and you realize she's being abused by her husband, who of course is also your husband. But you've never known him to be violent, ever. Who exactly is your husband, and how far would you be willing to go to find out? And who is his mysterious third wife? I would read this. I would definitely read this. This is the kind of book. Yeah, I think I'd be into this. I think. Again, like, it really depends on the writing style, but I like it. The wives. Okay. Let's reach lots of options. Let's just go with this one. Oh, The Wives was by Taryn Fisher. This is Family Pictures by Jane Green. Sylvie and Maggie are two women living on opposite coasts with the officer's wife. I think this might be a true story. I don't know, but this one is called the German Aris. I don't know if this one's about the Holocaust, but a lot of the ones in there are. Clara Falkenberg, once Germany's most eligible and lauded heiress, nicknamed the Iron Fräulein during World War II for her role operating her family's ironworks empire. It's been nearly 2 years since the war ended, and she's left with nothing but a false identification card and a series of burning questions about her family's past. With nowhere else to run, she decides to return home and take refuge with her dear friend Elisa, narrowly escaping a near-disastrous interrogation by a British officer who's hell-bent on arresting her for war crimes. She arrives home to discover the city in ruins and Eliza missing. As Clara begins tracking down Eliza, she encounters Jacob. Sometimes when it's spelled like that, it's pronounced Jacob, so I don't know, but it's probably Jacob, knowing that it's like German. She encounters Jacob, a charismatic young man working on the black market, who, for his own reasons, is also searching for Eliza. Claire and Jacob soon discover how they might help each other, if only they can stay ahead of the officer determined to try and make Clara answer for her actions during the war. I mean, what were her actions during the war? Maybe she should just be arrested. I don't know. I would have to find out. I feel like this would end up being a love story, and that's not really my vibes. Okay. Let's do this one. First of all, amazing noises. Second of all, it's Pride and Prejudice. I always try to read old books because, like, I love them, but at the same time, reading old English is so hard for me. It doesn't have like a little synopsis. I like that. Yeah. Who said sex is better than shopping? Yeah, this isn't my kind of book. I don't think. I just don't think it'd be juicy enough for me. I need a little bit more drama than like a boy drama, because I don't really care about boy drama. Oh my god, this is a movie. The Nanny Diaries. Who wouldn't want this job? Struggling to graduate from NYU and afford her microscopic studio apartment, Nanny takes a position caring for the only son of the wealthy X family. She rapidly learns the insane amount of juggling involved to ensure that a Park Avenue wife who doesn't work, cook, clean, or raise her own child has a smooth day. When the X's marriage begins to disintegrate, Nanny ends up involved way beyond the bounds of human decency or good taste. Her tenure with the X family becomes a nearly impossible mission to maintain the mental health of their 4-year-old, her own integrity, and most important, her sense of humor. Over the 9 tense months, Miss X and Nanny perform the age-old dance of decorum and power as they test the limits of modern-day servitude. I think I would like this book. I love books that are movies or TV shows because I love reading it first and then seeing how it all plays out and if it's accurate to what I thought it would be and all that. Okay, maybe we will get through this whole bag. Awkward readjust where I fall into all my clothes. Yep. Diary of a... Oh, this one was by Emma McLaughlin and Nicholas Krauss. This one is Diary of a Mad Bride by Laura Wolf. I don't know if this is the synopsis because it's kind of done as quotes, but I'll give it a shot. It says, My wedding was starting in less than 20 minutes, and I was stuck in a 7-Eleven parking lot with popcorn kernels wedged in my gums and vanilla ice cream melting on my dress. It was a disaster too large to comprehend after an agonizing year spent planning my wedding. Could it really end like this? The voices chronicling a year of wedding hysteria swirled in my head. My grandmother, upon viewing my engagement ring. What do you mean he gave you an emerald? Diamonds are eternal. Emeralds say maybe 5 years. My future father-in-law on the night of my engagement party. To a happy marriage and, if necessary, a painless divorce. My best friend Anita. Oh, screw congratulations. Of course I'm happy for you. Steven's a major piece of ass and he's got a sense of humor. Just as long as you're certain this is what you want. Would I survive this day after all? So it's written like a diary, which I do like stuff like that. It says on the back, for anyone who has ever been a bride, is about to be a bride, yearned to be a bride, or suffered the sheer indignity of appearing in public in the world's ugliest bridesmaid dress. I was a bridesmaid once. so she could have the baby. Which is kind of, I don't know how I feel about that personally. I think it's good. I just think maybe it's good for the baby. It's just probably not the woman. This is a Nicholas Sparks book, so you know it's cheesy and romantic. Safe Haven. It says, when a mysterious young woman named Katie appears in the small North Carolina town of Southport, her sudden arrival raises questions about her past. Beautiful yet self-effacing, Katie seems determined to avoid forming personal ties until a series of events draw her into two reluctant relationships. One with her plain-spoken neighbor Joe, and another with Alex, a widowed store owner with two young children. Kate slowly begins to relax her guard, putting down roots in the community and becoming increasingly attached to Alex and his family. But even as Katie begins to fall in love, she struggles with the dark secret that still haunts her. With Joe's support, Katie eventually realizes that she must choose a life of transient safety and one of riskier rewards, and that in the darkest hour, love is the only true safe haven. Again, I don't really read romance novels. It's not really my thing. It's not really my thing, but you know, that's got a mystery element to it. Okay, we have 4 books left. This one is called The Secret Sister. It says, Helen grew up in a pit village in Tyneside in the post-war years, with her aunties and uncles living nearby. She felt safe with them, but they couldn't protect her from her negligent mother and violent father. Blamed for everything that went wrong in their lives, she suffered years of abuse. Jenny was adopted at 6 weeks old and grew up in Newcastle. As an only child, she knew she was loved, and with the support of her parents, she became a champion golfer. But she still felt that something was missing. Neither of them knew of the other's existence until Jenny went looking for her birth family and found her sister Helen. Together they searched for the truth about Jenny's birth and uncovered a legacy of secrets and lies that overturned everything Helen thought she knew about her family. Moving and inspirational, this story of the extraordinary bond of sisterhood and a tribute to 2 women strong enough to let love, not bitterness, define them. By Helen Edwards and Jenny Lee Smith. Oh, it's a true story because I was like, that's the characters' names. Wow. That's intense. So, based on a true story written by the sisters from the book. Very nice. Yeah, this book is so thick. This is a thicky book, guys. How many pages is this? Oh my god. This is an 880-page book. That's a long book. Like, it would have to be a phenomenal book for me to survive that. Readjust number 3. My leg is going numb. It's called The Best of Times by Penny Vincent. It says, Jonathan, the charismatic surgeon, returning from a liaison with his mistress Abby. His wife thinks he's somewhere else. Georgia, the young actress on her way to audition for the part that could make her career. And Linda, her agent. Is this different books? I don't know. Linda, her agent, dynamic, ambitious, but lonely after a failed marriage. Toby, the bridegroom, with a dark secret on the way to his wedding, with his best friend Barney. Mary traveling to the airport to meet her first love whom she hadn't seen in over 50 years. William, the farmer who watches the drama unfold across the hill. And Emma, the engaging young surgeon at the nearest hospital. One heartbeat in time, and all of their lives are transformed. Worlds are torn apart, mysteries are created, love affairs ended and ignited. But is it for the worst, or could it be for the best? I won't lie. seems too long for it to be just like random little dramas, you know what I mean? I'd love to read the reviews on this. I'm gonna look this up on Goodreads after. Okay, 2 more books left. I just bought this book. Okay, Club Dead. I think it says now on HBO, True Blood, the original series based on the Sookie Stackhouse novels. And this said it's a Sookie Stackhouse novel, but it's by Charlene Harris, called Club Dead. It says there's only one vampire Sookie Stackhouse is involved with, at least voluntarily, and that's Bill. But recently he's been a little distant, in another state distant. His sinister and sexy boss, Aris, has an idea where to find him. Next thing Sookie knows, she's off to Jackson, Mississippi to mingle with the underworld at Club Dead. It's a dangerous little haunt where the elitist vampire society can go to chill out and suck down some type O. But when Sookie finally finds Bill caught in an act of serious betrayal, she's not sure whether to save him or sharpen some stakes. Interesting picture. Personally, not for me. We also have this one. But it's another war book, and I feel like we've been over a few of those, but you know, I won't leave it out. I don't want to be the only one left out. The Gestapo forced Edith Han into a ghetto and then into a slave labor camp. When she returned home to Vienna months later, she'd become a hunted woman and went underground. With the help of a Christian friend, she emerged in Munich as Greta Dinner. There she met Werner Vetter, a Nazi party member who fell in love with her. Despite Edith's protest and her eventual confession that she was Jewish, he married her and kept her identity a secret. That's romantic. In a retching detail, Edith recalls a constant life of fear. She tells how German officials questioned the lineage of her parents, how during childbirth she refused painkillers, afraid that in an altered state of mind she might reveal something of her past. And how, after her husband was captured by the Soviets, she was bombed out of her house and forced to hide while Russian soldiers... I'm not saying that. Russian soldiers did bad things. Despite the risk to her life, Edith created a remarkable record of survival. She saved every document and the photographs she took inside labor camps, now part of a permanent collection at the Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C. These hundreds of documents form the fabric of a new chapter in history of the Holocaust, compelling, troubling, and triumphant. Wow, it's a memoir. Oh my gosh, and like the pictures are in the book. Wow. I would actually be interested in reading this. It seems really like educational and very intense. And then the last book I have is called Pieces of Her, which I've talked about in my last book video, I believe. But the book that I was just telling you about that I read, where like they were solving a girl's murder, it was like they kept her alive to the baby was born. It was the second book of this, but I hadn't read this one and I didn't know it was a sequel. I just read it and I was like confused about the characters and like why it already felt like they were so well established and I didn't know who they were. I was like, okay, they're just like hanging out. It says, sorry if this is a repeat if you saw my other book video, but Andrea knows everything about her mother, Laura. She knows Laura spent nearly her whole life in the small beachside town of Belle Isle, Georgia. She knows Laura's never wanted anything more than to lead a quiet, normal life. She knows Laura's a kind, beloved speech pathologist. She knows Laura has never kept a secret. But Andrea's life is upended when a visit to the mall is shattered by an act of horrifying violence that reveals a completely different side of Laura. A cool woman who calmly faces down a murderer. It turns out that before Andrea's mother was Laura, she was somebody completely different. For nearly 30 years, she's been hiding from the woman she once was, lying low in the hope that no one would ever find her. But now she's been exposed, and nothing will ever be the same again. To save her mother, Andrea embarks on a desperate journey following the breadcrumb trail of her mother's past. Andrea knows that if she can't uncover the secrets in there, there may be no future for her mother. it's nothing, and